Hi, Dada. What are you doing today?
I am digging out the compost. I think the last snowstorm has just come and went, and if we get frost before our frost-free date of Mother's Day, I will cover whatever it is that I decide to grow. But what I am doing right now is getting the compost dug out, because not that we're running out of space, but it's time and I need the exercise and I need to get outside midday. So
that's cool.
Digging out the composter.
Why do we have a compost?
It's something I learned how to do. I've always been interested in it really since high school, but when I was in county extension in Indiana, specifically after we got back from Peace Corps, got married, I had this earth machine project where they looked like 50 upside down trash cans that you could take the top off of, and I taught people how to compost, gave away composters. And then we moved to Colorado 12 years ago. And the soil here is very different. It's not like the Midwest. It's not like Indiana where you could just put anything in the ground and it'd grow. So decided to build a composter out of this old fence. That old fence, we moved in, we got that fence rebuilt. And it was a nice big fence. And I had some old shed here. I had a little, one of those little metal sheds that was falling apart back here too that didn't have anything in it. It was right in this footprint, and so I decided to cut it all up, and I decided to make 3 different stalls. One's kind of like our little barn area with what do you got in there? Timothy hay, straw.
Yeah,
buckets.
Timothy hay, rabbit supplies.
I would say if we had a barn, this is our barn. Look at their storm.
Yeah,
See? They're looking for mice. And then you turn this into the hut. This was the other side. I would shift these 2 back and forth, but you wanted this, and it's pretty cool in here. But yeah. So I have to deal with, instead of going like this between years, I have to turn it now. So I actually have Gilson, the tiller that Courtney helped me rebuild, and I break that out every now and then and bring it in here. I would maybe do that today because that stuff down there is pretty compacted, but I don't think I'm going to. I just need enough to get on the strawberries and to get some nitrogen and some nutrients on the strawberries and some more organic matter to supplement those beds. And then I'm just moving it out. So that's all I'm doing.
That's
Here,
cool.
let me go ahead and dig 1 bucket full. Just
Okay. So we have the compost because it's fertilizer for the strawberries in the garden, and also because it's a place to put our food.
Yeah, so it's a good place to put like food scraps, or we've got paper, that I shred paper, nothing leaves here, hopefully with a name and address on it so that somebody could grab it. So there's a little bit of security in there. Trying to get that out of there. So yeah, and we just compost really anything we can. So this is that's good. So you can kind of see, this is real deep. This is all the way from last year. You can kind of see where those leaves didn't quite break down below. They just kind of got stuck and kind of matted. That's, pressure and weight over time with some water, and that you get some decomposition. I would like to see it decompose a little bit better than that, but hey, I'll take it, But leaves, and then you can kind of see there's like layers in there. You can kind of see the different colors. That's because stuff settles out over time and it's compacted. A lot of that's coffee grounds, some of that's some sand, some of it's old dirt, some of it's some clay balls, leaves, and then just food scraps over time, over the whole year. We have that little deal in the kitchen that we fill up pretty much once or twice a day. I got to take that out and I throw it right smack dab in the middle of this thing, and then it just permeates down over time. And there's worms in there, and it's just all really, really good stuff. But yeah, it's a good place to keep waste out from the trash, so you're not putting as much on the curb. And this is just free dirt, basically. So if you're gonna have a garden and you're inclined, yeah, why not compost?
Cool. Do you have any tips for keeping compost?
Yeah, you need to have the right mix. So let me think here. There's browns, which are like leaves, like that stuff on top. We get tons of that because of Oakley out front and the other leaves. Greens, which is like table scraps and leafy greens and all that, citrus leftovers and stuff. And then help me out, I should know this. Green and brown, and then water and organic matter.
Is that why we have
sand.
this sprayer here?
Yeah, so I can hook that up. I leave that there, and then it comes in. It's got a specific spray angle. That's a low. I rebuilt basically a spray bar out of old parts that I had left over in there, and I then put that on there and mist it on. And the reason why you don't want to get in there with a hose is because you got worms, and you want to try and give them a nice, gentle bit of moisture, almost like a rain, like a fog. That's what that is. It's a cone fogger. It's a mister. It's high pressure, so I hook it up to the garden hose from out there, through it up a couple different stages, and off we go. So I put a ton of water in there. You don't want to wash everything out, but you do want to get it soaking wet two or three times a year.
Like a sponge.
Well, if we get a big snowstorm, I'll take all that snow, particularly this nice big heavy snow like this last that we got.
Yeah.
Take that and you scoop it up and you throw it up on top of there, and what that does is that compacts it. And that's really, really good. And not only is it getting wet, but it's getting weight on it as well. Snow, good wet snow is really, really good, but I didn't come out here this time because it gets caught up on here too, and it's dripping all over the place, and I didn't feel like it, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Here, let me get a bucket full, and then I will go out in the garden real quick.
Okay.
Here, I'll just take a second. I like doing it with 5-gallon buckets, because then I can kind of measure it. Do it with a wheelbarrow too, but I don't feel like getting that out today.
I have one more question.
Yes.
So I know that you put our rabbit and chicken poop in there, but is it okay to put dog poop in there too?
Absolutely not. No. So you see these little lines that are on here? It's coming from my gray water system. So that is coming up from our washer water in the winter. I'll hook that up in a few weeks. It's offline right now, but gray water is just washer water. Brown water, black water, is like with human feces in it. You'd never want to use that, and you would never want to use anything that is really very closely related to us. Rabbits and chickens are far enough away that they're really good for heating up that compost with a lot of microbial activity. It's like each rabbit pellet, I look at it as like a little microcosm of goodness that if it gets wet, it'll spread out, go down and decompose everything. Rabbit poop's really, really good.
Like a vitamin.
Like a vitamin for the compost, yeah. Chicken poop is different. That's like hot, that's like nitrogen. That's real, real hot. And you gotta be careful with that because it can actually start it on fire. It'll actually start a little, it'll burn it up, and you don't want that. If it's anaerobic, you need to keep it turned. So if you put something that's hot in there like that, you need to keep it turned. So, but here, I'm about halfway through the strawberry beds. We got our gardens back there, a little catnip, some other stuff going on, but these are the strawberry beds, and I've been generally dissatisfied. Of course, I'm really good at killing strawberries, mowing them down at the wrong time of the year. Did that twice, yeah, just Mr. Agriculture. But anyway, for these, they do need a lot of organic matter, and so in order to get these beds built up, so this is a great place to put a bunch of compost. But we could put it over on the rhubarb, we can put it on the herbs, you can put it out front, you can put it really anywhere on any of these gardens, and then over time it'll just leach down with rain and as we water, and it'll leach down into the profile and kind of compact like at the bottom of what you saw there. That's kind of a soil profile. So, but below this bed is a lot of hard clay
and bedrock.
And that on that fence line we moved in, that was a chain link fence that had like some viney thing that we've been killing back for years and years. So yeah, that's pretty much what you do with compost. So,
cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And the Fitzer family wants to thank you for watching. Bye. Have a nice day.